here at Spielberg, it's time for qualifying on what will be the fastest laps of the season. Stand by for qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix.
Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back once again to my F1 24 career mode. We are now at the A1 ring, also known as the Red Bull ring. This is for the Austrian Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last instalment, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. Well, we managed to grab a single point from the Spanish Grand Prix. We did have upgrades fitted to the car just before then. Hopefully they'll still be helping move us forward here in Austria, and I'm confident we can do well. Right, how's this first SQ1 lap looking then? So far it's not looking great, is it? We're currently looking at about P17, P18. It's really not looking good. We're struggling quite a bit here for any kind of pace, but sprint is one thing and the race is entirely a different thing, and I'm hoping we can find some pace right towards the end of the lap. In fact, we have found a little bit of time, but it's not good enough to take us any higher than the 10th row. It's P19 for the sprint with a hell of a lot of work to do from there. It's going to be a difficult long weekend. I really thought the upgrades before Spain would have helped, but it seems a couple of other teams have also moved forward, so it's frustrating for us, but you never know what opportunities will head your way. Gotta stay positive.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint, not very... Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris, Bottas, Russell, Stroll, Gasly, Perez, Sainz, Ocon, Albon, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Joe, Hulkenberg, Théo Pourchaire, Joker, Ricciardo, Behrman, and Zane Maloney. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too.
We're at the back, but give it 100% and we can still...
12 laps ahead of us in this sprint race here in Austria. What will unfold? We are underway here. It's an okay start by us. Pourchaire looks a bit slow off the line. We might be able to take him, but cars are already going to the outside, so that stops me trying to take that line. In fact, it's Ollie Behrman making a good start, moving up to 19th, dropping us to 20th. Now we've got the long run up the hill towards turn 3. What can we do? Braking late, trying to gain a few places up the inside. It's sort of worked. I mean, we're now up into P18. We're ahead of Behrman. Behrman is right behind us in 19th. I'm having a look at Hulkenberg, who's 17th in the V-Carb, trying to go around the outside of him. Is there a way through around the outside? No. Hulkenberg holds his ground and holds his place. And we drop to P18. He's chasing down Yuki Tsunoda, so he's got an eye for 16th himself. Nearly popping a wheel in the gravel there. Lap 2. Hulkenberg having a look at Tsunoda, but he's also having to look at defending us because we're going down the inside of the V-Carb car, and again, no way through there, despite my attempts to run Hulkenberg wide. But we're now going side by side down the straight, heading towards the hairpin, braking later. Surely we should have it. We do have it. He might have a look at getting the old up and under, but he's not able to get it there. Yellow flags ahead, so someone's having an issue, and I'm having a cheeky look at Yuki Tsunoda, but under yellow flags that would not be allowed. It's Oscar Piastri that's pulled off. Honestly, he started off so strong at the beginning of the season, but it's just been misery from there for the Australian. And now we carry on setting after Yuki Tsunoda in P15. We're a quarter of the way through the sprint and we're not really in a position to fight for points, but we are in a position to fight Tsunoda, going round the outside of the Williams, and we've got that move done, moved up into P15. We've got a yellow flag still for the stricken car of Oscar Piastri.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.3 seconds.
Lap 5 now, and we're right behind the Sauber of Zhou Guanyu, getting ever closer, using the tow, using what's left of the battery, and DRS, braking late and sweeping round the outside, moving ahead of the Kick Sauber and up into P14.
Keep going.
Only 6 more places until we get points in this sprint. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to try. But unfortunately, in the next few laps, we're not really able to make any inroads on the battling cars ahead. We haven't really caught Charles Leclerc, and Zhou Guanyu is actually having a look at taking back P14, so it's our overall pace is not looking fantastic so far this weekend, and I'm really struggling to keep the Sauber behind me. Zhou is looking pretty fast at this stage in this Austrian Grand Prix sprint. That's not going to help either, dipping a wheel in the gravel. That's giving Zhou a look round the outside of the double rights. Heading here, we've given him space, but we've retaken it. What has gone on here? Multiple cars going slowly, and I'm really not sure what's happened, but that's helped me overtake Leclerc. We've had a look at Albon. We've tagged Albon, and Albon's gone deep, and that might help me overtake the Williams. I do wonder what went on there, because everybody just backed up, and now we're diving down the inside and moving into P11, and P8 is literally just there, and I feel like if we had a few more laps we might have been able to pick them off, but Albon's coming straight back at me and trying to retake P11 down the inside in the Williams, and Alex Albon retakes 11th. We drop to 12th. I'm trying to look for ways through, but Albon covering very nicely. I wonder what happened. Can it happen again? Back them all up and get me into the points. 2 laps to go here, and I'm staying with Alex Albon because I believe we can pass him back. We have got similar pace to that of the Williams of Albon. Down the inside we go. Ooh, that's not a friendly move. Banging wheels with the Williams, and Albon keeping the position. We're going to have another go with DRS here. Albon just putting his car in the middle of the road, making it very difficult for us. But we've swept round the outside and retaken the Williams of Alex Albon to move into 11th. He's having a look. We've gone deep. Albon getting the up and under, and us saying thank you very much. That mistake costing us there, as we were trying to defend one way and then Albon just dummied us. Now also having a look is Charles Leclerc. He wants his place back as well, but I'm too busy fighting Alex Albon as we start the last lap here. This is an almighty scrap that is going to go right to the end of this lap. DRS 1. I don't intend to overtake here. That will make me vulnerable for the next DRS zone, which is here. And now we're getting ever closer to Albon. A look maybe down the inside here is on. Albon covers to the outside we go. Are we completing the move? Albon holding the inside line. Side by side we go down the straight. Albon trying to hold on. I'm forcing him tight, but Albon not able to hold on. And we have taken P11 away from the Thai driver. And as we head round the last 2 corners, Max Verstappen wins the sprint. We end up finishing P11, a few places away from points. The pace, I'm not overly sure where we are exactly. I feel like the pace is good to maybe lurk just outside the points, maybe even sneak a point or 2, but outside of that, I think that's the maximum we can do here. But it's still a strong sprint race from 19th to 11th, 8 places gained. Can't really say fairer than that, can you?
And of course, the main event.
But Verstappen wins, Russell second, Norris third, and Bottas and Alonso round out the top 5.
Time for qualifying on what will be the fastest laps of the season. Stand by for qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix.
Okay, are we ready to do this all again? Now we've got qualifying for the Grand Prix. One-shot qualifying, I remind you, as that's the rule in Season 4. Heading into Turn 1 now, clipping that apex nicely. Now we're heading up the hill, using what we can of battery. That's moving us closer to the top 5. Can we hold on to that, I wonder? All depends on how we handle the next series of corners. That was pretty decent, but unfortunately it's the exit that we're losing a bit of time on. I'm trying to find a little bit more pace though. It's looking better than our first lap for the sprint qualifying, that's for sure, but we still need to find that bit more time. Heading up to the double left, and we've gone a little bit deep there. That's going to lose me a 10th, maybe 2. Are we going to be able to clip this apex? Yep. And we don't run overly wide there too, so it's not looking too bad. But now we're down to the double right-hander. What can we do here? Clipping that apex nicely, taking a decent amount of speed around the corner, and it looks like this is going to be, it's P17. I thought for 1 minute we were going to have P14 or 15, but again it's P17, a position that seems to be all too familiar with us in qualifying. How many times have we started there this season? I want answers on a postcard. But it's Alonso on pole with Norris second. And I feel like Oscar Piastri, wherever he is, he's going to have a penalty to deal with. So, lots to do from P17.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn, the Niki Lauda curve. It was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Fernando Alonso yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Russell, Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Tsunoda, Théo Pourchaire, Joker, Joe, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Ricciardo, and Zayn Maloney. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
And down here at the back, you've got the speed, you've got the car, so just
36 laps ahead of us here for this Austrian Grand Prix. Are we going to see lots of drama? It's lights out and away we go. We've got a good start. We're alongside Pourchaire once again. Albon really going aggressive to cut off Yuki Tsunoda. Zhou Guanyu diving up the inside. We've got Hulkenberg on my left, and we've lost a couple of places off that start. Really not a good getaway at all. But now we're heading up the hill once again. I'm going to try and take the very inside line, but Hulkenberg was also having a look at it. Is there anything to gain there? No, in fact, we've really not gained anything at all. And we've got Daniel Ricciardo on my left trying to cost us further, so we've potentially lost another position here down to P20 unless we can hold off Daniel Ricciardo, which is exactly what we have done. We've got Zhou and Hulkenberg going wheel-to-wheel ahead, and we've also got Maloney right up the back of Daniel Ricciardo, so I wonder if Maloney's going to be able to do anything about that. Coming to end the first lap, we've lost a couple of places. I want to try and get them back if I can, although that's not the circuit, that's not going to help. Hulkenberg getting close to Zhou, and we're getting close to the pair of them. Am I going to be able to go around Hulkenberg here? Hulkenberg's now turned it into a dive on Zhou Guanyu, and Hulkenberg getting that done. And while I've got backed up, Daniel Ricciardo has got back past me, so we've lost a position again while attacking. Hulkenberg pretty much boxing me in there as we get back down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo and move back into 19th. Hulkenberg now ahead of Zhou, who is my next target. And I think Maloney and Ricciardo were having a little scrap there once I'd got past. Coming up to end the second lap. Who is leading the way, I wonder? As we head round the double right-hander, we're soon about to see it's Lando Norris, but he's got Russell and Verstappen snapping at his heels. And I'm going after Zhou Guanyu at the end of this second lap. Can we get him here? No, not really, but if we can set one up, we might be able to have a look down the inside right here, right now, braking late, and we have got past Zhou Guanyu. He might try and up and under me there, but no such move is available. Nothing in doing in that. We have moved ahead of the Kick Sauber. We're now into P18, chasing down Hulkenberg and Tsunoda for 16th place, so that'll help us there. And look how backed up he gets going into the right-hander. They all back up quite a bit there, and that allows me to catch up. Hulkenberg getting back ahead, but I can't see it being for much longer. We have the inside line. We have the later braking spot. We have the position. Up into 17th. Next up is Sainz and Tsunoda. And it's quite a big group of cars there. So there is potential to jump ahead of some of these, especially if we try and get a cheeky little undercut. There we are, and we've got a V-carb right behind us. Hulkenberg really trying to hang on for dear life. We've lost the DRS to Yuki Tsunoda, but we're going to get him right back here because everyone's backed up again. Why did everybody back up? Oh, Lance Stroll locked up. That's why they all backed up. The Aston Martin locked up, and that's what's enabled us to move forward. I've tried to get past Terry Pourchaire. He's up and under me, but we were able to gain 2 places with an Aston Martin locking up and backing everyone off. And now here comes Carlos Sainz down the inside. Sainz getting the move done. Tsunoda trying to come back at us as well. Tsunoda alongside me, side by side. Hulkenberg thinking about taking the inside line. Nothing in doing there for Hulkenberg though. We keep the position on Tsunoda, and now Sainz and Pourchaire are fighting over 14th. This is quite an intense fight. To say that this is all for P14, there is nothing that you're going to gain from this. Just pride. Sainz and Pourchaire side by side. Pourchaire loses a place. I'm now denying Pourchaire another place as we go down the inside and overtake the Red Bull for P15. Right, next target is Carlos Sainz. I don't know if we're going to have the pace. Pourchaire was having a look down the inside of the left-hander. We're staying with Carlos Sainz at this stage. Daniel Ricciardo is out of the race. So Daniel Ricciardo, who was fighting us early on, is now out. There is the Alfa Romeo, Kick Sauber, whatever you want to call it, coming to a stop. And now once again we're attacking Carlos Sainz for P14. It's a bit of a frustrating day here at this Austrian Grand Prix. We're going to try and go round the outside of the V-carb. Now we're going on the straight, using everything and draining the battery. Sainz is able to stay alongside. I'm going to force him in tight, and that in turn makes him lose enough time for us to sort of gain the position. Sainz trying to stay alongside. It doesn't work out for him, and now he is down a place. We are pitting at the end of lap 14, so I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, we might be able to undercut a couple of the cars in front. Into the pits we go. Into our pit box. Off go the mediums. On go the hards. 2.3 seconds. Thank you very much. And back into the race we go. Albeit we are now stone dead last. Back onto the circuit we go. Right. We're going to need a good few laps here to try and undercut our way closer to the points. But we're going to push. Take the early grip out the tyres before backing off, and look where we've emerged. We're just ahead of Oscar Piastri and Alex Albon, so I reckon we're about P8, P9 in this Grand Prix at the moment, as we're having a little look at Fernando Alonso, but there was no way to go through there. I am going to try and stay within the DRS of Alonso though. More cars pitting, so we're going to see how much this has moved us up the field, and actually we're in P10, so we're looking pretty good. Make that P9, so we're fighting in the points, and there may be more points up for grabs if we can exploit the DRS here. Alonso dead ahead, with Perez in the Ferrari also ahead, and we've got the hat, I think, of Charles Leclerc in the mix as well in P6, so we're going to be fighting him too. Having a look at Alonso, there's no way through round the hairpin. However, when we come up the hill, there might be a chance. We're now up into P8, so whoever else needed to pit has pitted. Alonso's down the inside of Perez. They're going side by side. There might be a chance to have a go here with Alonso tucking in behind Perez. He goes to the outside. I was thinking of going to the inside and diving it, but there's no sense in doing that yet. Alonso still fighting Perez. Fernando does not want to give up. I'm just here, sat right behind it all and watching it, hoping it all goes horribly wrong and doesn't involve me, because that would move us up into P6 and that would be 8 championship points, and I'd happily take that. Right now, however, we're looking at 2, and that's not too shabby, but I want to increase my points take from this race. Alonso, Perez, myself, end of lap 19 into lap 20, and we're pretty much nose to tail. These two are now having another look at racing each other round the outside of Perez as he runs out wide, banging wheels with us. And now we've got to look at Fernando Alonso too. How much closer can we get? Alonso goes to defend. Guess what? I'm going around the outside of the pair of them. No, I'm not. I've been hit. And we've lost the places again. Perez and Alonso getting through. Hamilton having a look at taking the place as well. Lewis Hamilton moving up into P8 as these two are still fighting it out side by side, Alonso and Perez. And this time I think Fernando Alonso is going to steal the place. Hamilton has to back out. They're still side by side here. How is this going to end? Perez up the inside with the place, but Alonso is going to be getting frustrated. He's having a look at Perez. I'm having a look at the pair of them round the outside of turn 1, and this time we sweep round the outside and take 6th position. What an overtake. Perez and Alonso demoted. Charles Leclerc in 5th, all by himself at this stage. I think he's just trying to stay with Valtteri Bottas, but he's got himself clear and he's on for some great points if he can stay there. Meanwhile, I'm still dealing with Alonso and Perez right behind me. I'm just trying to save whatever I can of the battery for this hill here. We've got 29%. I don't know why I'm not using it. Use more of it. There we go, clicking the battery. I think I'm just trying to save what I can. Here comes Fernando Alonso having a look down the inside, but I'm not enabling that one. However, he's held on pretty well. He's back alongside me again. Myself and Alonso side by side. I'm going to force him in very tight. It's not going to quite work out for him, and we hold on to 6th position. Alonso and Perez still in 7th and 8th as we go into the closing stages of this Austrian Grand Prix. Alonso once again right behind me. I'm trying to save what I can of overtake. Here comes Alonso down the inside. We're going to try and cover it, but there's not a lot we can do this time. And this time, Fernando Alonso up into 6th. We've dropped to 7th. Perez and Piastri are next in 8th and 9th, and I've just hit the grass a little bit there, but nothing in doing. Right, into another lap. Lap 30 of 36, catching Fernando Alonso, and we're going to have another look down the inside of the right-hander. Are we going to get close enough? Yes. No, Alonso covers. Right, to the outside we go. To the left-hand side, Alonso almost trying to bang wheels with us there, but I am not going to be intimidated off by Fernando Alonso. As much of a wily old fox he is not intimidating me off the road. No way, Fernando. Lap 33 of 36, just 4 to go. And if we can hold on to this result, what a result it will be. But Fernando Alonso is coming back at me. I'm trying to cover, but Alonso too quick this time, and he's got it done. I'm trying to go around the outside. I've had to take avoiding action of Alonso. Perez is now coming through. Perez is getting past us. He's now having a look at Fernando Alonso. I'm going down the inside. The pair of them, there's contact. There's contact, and the three of us go off. And I rejoin. Oh, there just wasn't enough room for three cars. Perez has a look. I look down the inside of all of them. Perez sort of turns into me, and that drags both me and Perez into Fernando Alonso, an innocent bystander who was just in the wrong place at the worst time. And that drops us down to 10th, and Ocon is dropping us down to 11th. The Alpine driver getting the move done on us, and we are now falling out of the points in this Austrian Grand Prix because Pierre Gasly is getting all the closer to. I'm trying to get past Esteban Ocon. Down the inside we go, but we've gone way too deep. Ocon takes the position, and we are now out of the points, with Gasly having a look down the inside in these closing stages of this Austrian Grand Prix, and Gasly getting through. We're now down to 12th. Can we overtake Gasly before the end? That is the question. We've still got one more lap left of this race. I think getting past Ocon might be a tall order, but we can certainly get past Pierre Gasly, who's already looking to cover the inside. And I'm just going to brake late and sweep round the outside, retake that. And is there any chance we can get closer to Esteban Ocon? We've used a lot of overtakes, so I think it's going to be very difficult. And in fact, we don't really close in. If I was feeling a bit bolder, I would have tried sending that one up the inside, but I think that would have ended in me off the circuit or T-boning the innocent Esteban Ocon. So I think for now, the best thing we can do is just settle for P11. We were looking at points, but it was a risky move to go up the inside of the pair of them, and unfortunately Perez caught me, and then I got dragged into the other car of Fernando Alonso. All three of us went off. As a result, none of us are scoring points today. Lando Norris wins this Austrian Grand Prix. We're now covering Pierre Gasly. Unfortunately, however, it is a pointless day as we go wide and exceed track limits. P11 for today. Better luck next time.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has Landoed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
This race really mattered for them today, Crofty. You know, it's close in the Drivers' Championship. You feel that pressure as a driver as it gets towards the end of the championship. And, you know, it's a big relief. It's a weight off your shoulders, and you'll know that it was a job well done.
Well, Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Lando Norris wins, George Russell second. It's a Mercedes 1-2 here, with Valtteri Bottas getting third for McLaren. Verstappen fourth, Charles Leclerc, another great drive for Haas in fifth. Piastri moves up to sixth. Hamilton seventh. Albon, good points for Williams in eighth. and Stroll and Ocon round out the top 10. Oh, what could have been if I didn't have that incident with Perez and Alonso. Silly little incident, really. I did have a look up the inside, but again, I got stuck on Perez's car when he turned into me, and that just sort of forced us both into Fernando Alonso. Racing incident, I feel. It is what it is, but it's P11 for today, and the championship, Lando Norris takes the lead off of Max Verstappen. Bottas now moves up to third, 26 points behind, and then it's Russell and Piastri, fourth and fifth. Piastri now 36 points off the championship lead, despite leading it so strongly early on. Alonso, Leclerc and myself are 6th, 7th and 8th, with Perez and Hamilton 9th and 10th. And that moves Haas ahead of us in the Constructors as well, as me and Leclerc are the only drivers scoring points for our team. Well, thank you so much for watching this instalment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. See you all soon.